All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Joining us right now is Eleanor Clift, contributing editor for Newsweek magazine and the Daily Beast, and, of course, longtime panelist on the McLaughlin Group. Hi, Eleanor.
Hi. Good afternoon, I guess it is.
It is late afternoon at this point, or certainly almost late afternoon, but
right.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that.
Well, that to you as well.
Well, thank you very much. All right, so we have some news to talk about today with regard to how it might affect the president. I know you wrote a piece at the Daily Beast about Obama's press conference the other day before he went to Hawaii. And today the news coming, another NSA decision. You write about that in the column. But we have a decision now that counteracts the decision from the other day. This one says that the NSA program is needed to counteract groups like Al-Qaeda, and it flies in the face. It's just about the polar opposite of everything that the previous judge said. And the previous judge was appointed by Clinton, and by Bush, and this one was appointed by Clinton.
Right. Well, I just don't think that this issue divides neatly along Republican and Democratic lines. So I think that's why you can't look at who appointed them. And conclude that's where they're going to come out. And I think there is, there are some differences about this. It may very well end up going to the Supreme Court, but I think the administration probably feels pretty good that they got this decision to countermand the other one. And the other one also did say it was probably unconstitutional. That judge kind of hedged his bets there a bit, I thought.
Yeah, he did. Well, yeah, I kind of think he meant that it was, but I'm not going to do anything yet until the appeal. But it was strange language where he did say most likely or probably or whatever.
Right, exactly.
So that was kind of strange. But
he could have had clear language and still, stayed the decision.
Yeah, but
he waffled not once but twice.
Right, he's a waffler. And today a poll comes out and says that 70% of the American people say the economy is in poor shape. And, of course, if you just watch the news, they'll have you believe, well, fewer unemployment claims and the stock market a new record every day and blah, blah, blah. And the unemployment numbers down. And if you listen to Obama, how many millions of jobs have been created. But when 70% of the people say the economy is in bad shape, that's a problem.
Well, I think it's a tricky issue for the president because I think he is looking at improving numbers. I mean, the growth rate for the third quarter of 2013 was revised upward with new information to 4%. We haven't seen 4% for quite a while. And, he does have a record here as president of presiding over kind of steady but not strong enough job growth. But, there are bigger problems. The jobs that are being created don't really pay enough. People work 40 hours and they can't really support a family anymore. And so I think people are still hurting in their everyday lives. Colleges are more expensive if you want to send your kid to college. So I think that, people don't feel optimistic, although I think the consumer confidence numbers were also up, and my goodness, UPS and FedEx were overwhelmed with all the buying online. So there are some contradictory figures here, but I think it'll probably take a while before people have any confidence that the economy is really rebounding, and we're going to have to see strong job growth numbers, more than just 1 or 2 months. We're going to have to see if this can be sustained. But I think the president has reason to think that next year could be better in terms of the overall economy, and people might start feeling better.
Will they start feeling better enough to vote for Democrats? I mean, is there any way that you see that this disaster, which goes way beyond, in my opinion, a website failure, known as Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, that Democrats actually can run on it, can say, yeah, I voted for it, but forgive me, and here's why. I mean, the ones that are up for re-election in the Senate, I mean, I just don't understand how they do anything but run as far away from this as they can.
I don't think so. It's the law. There are going to be fixes. Back in the old days, before Obamacare, people routinely lost their insurance. They couldn't get insurance because they had a pre-existing condition. I mean, how many times do you have to change doctors because the doctor you're going to no longer takes the insurance that you have? So now everybody's blaming everything on Obamacare, but I do believe that millions of people are going to get insurance, and that the health care market, which was really broken, is on its way to being fixed. Maybe more political blood will be shed before this all settles out. But I think it's really. I think Republicans. It's not enough to just sit there on the sidelines and throw darts at what you don't like about Obamacare. They have not been able to come up with any reasonable way to fix what's wrong with the things they don't like, or contain the costs or anything. I mean, so I think they're now making some efforts to kind of cobble together some plans, but you can't just say, well, we'll keep the parts we like and take away the parts we don't like. That's not how pooling insurance risk works.
Well, I think that's what they're going to have to wind up doing. I think they're going to keep some of the provisions that are popular and go about it in a different way, go about it with high-risk pools for pre-existing conditions and different things, because next year at this time, Eleanor, all indications are the 80 to 100 million people are going to be in the boat that 6 to 8 million people are in right now, and that's getting cancellation policies. And if I don't think that most of the American public, certainly not the youngsters that they want to sign up to make this work, know what the word deductible means. And when Michelle Obama says...
I think you should just hold your fire and wait a few months into the next year.
Yeah, but look at the deduct. You think that these kids who are signing up know that they could go to the doctor and it's not going to be taken care of, that they're going to get a bill?
People pay co-payments. I think people understand that. Anybody who's been in the system and gotten any kind of health care.
Yeah, but these are kids who have never signed up for health care. They're the target to make it work.
Obamacare isn't for free. That wasn't the idea.
Well, it's being presented as for less than your phone bill, you could get insurance and go to the doctor, but you'll have to pay for that doctor visit. Isn't being told like, hey, you won't be able to keep your doctor or your insurance.
We're talking about insurance. You still have to pay the doctor,
I know that.
Well, you have a particular bias built into the way you're.
Well, I don't. You think that's?
I'm just not going to take the bait. So
no bait. I feel bad
else.
for these youngsters who are going to buy insurance and not have any clue that they're not getting free medical care, because that's how it's being presented. Less than your phone bill. You could go get insurance and go to the doctor.
You can get insurance.
I know that, Eleanor. I know.
You do get preventive care. I don't think all these youngsters you're referring to believe that you get everything free. Maybe that's how you're presenting it. I don't think that's how.
Well, time, like you said, let's wait till next year, and we will see. Anyway, thank you for coming on.
All
Have
right.
a great holiday, and I hope we'll speak again.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Stay healthy.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
that's the case. That's Eleanor Clift, ladies and gentlemen, contributing editor for Newsweek magazine and the Daily Beast here on the Steve Malzberg Show. When we come back, gosh, we have so many people being held so many places, and I think the gentleman who's being held in by Al Qaeda, whose video was released yesterday, it's different. He's not being held by a nation state. He's being held by a terrorist group, and I just don't think you negotiate with terrorist groups. I'd be disappointed if the Obama administration worked out a deal with Al Qaeda, sat down and talked with Al Qaeda or Hamas, although I think they're already talking to Hamas, or Hezbollah, and I think they're already talking to Hezbollah, and I think that's disgraceful. You don't deal and talk to terrorists. I think Israel releasing terrorist prisoners in exchange for dead Israelis or alive Israelis is a big mistake. But we'll talk to Mike Baker, former CIA covert agent, about our captive being held by Al Qaeda when we come back right here on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax TV and radio.
The Steve Malzberg Show.